Hello, my name is Paul Bale. I'm a clinical psychologist and also teach meditation. I want to share with you today one of the techniques or methods that I typically share with most of my clients. I think it's a very helpful skill or method. Now, I'm making this video not only for my current clients, but also in the hopes that other people may stumble across it. And if you think that it is of value, I would ask you to help boost the likelihood that this video will appear in a YouTube search. And the way to do that would be if you could subscribe to this channel and also share this video with some of your friends, because the more views and the more likes that the video gets, the more likely it will be to be seen by other people. That's just the way the algorithm on YouTube works. So anyhow, what is this exercise? Well, it is a self-nurturing type of exercise. And let me explain here that a lot of people have difficulty with this whole idea of loving yourself or giving yourself love. Many people have a block. They don't like certain aspects of themselves. They have judgments about certain aspects of themselves, and in a way feel like it's cheating to love themselves, that they are kind of glossing over their imperfections, and that they don't really deserve to give themselves unconditional love until they get their act together. And or if they're feeling down, they feel that if they give themselves love and nurturance, that's equivalent to a pity party, and instead what they have to give themselves is tough love and tell themselves to suck it up and just go out there and do it and stop being a crybaby. Now, what I'm talking about here really is different from all of that. Yeah, because a lot of the objections are based on what I would say is a somewhat false separation between how you view yourself and how you view other people. So think about if you had a good friend, someone that you cared about. You know that they have flaws, weaknesses, their own kind of quirks, but also you see that they're a great person, have good intentions, they're a loving person, you have had a lot of good experiences with them, you know where they're coming from, you understand them, and when they're down, you sympathize with them, even when you see sometimes how they might be contributing to their own difficulties. Still, you love them, you support them, you want nothing but the best for them. You hope that they will find their way out of this mess, but you're not there to condemn them. Maybe you give them some suggestions, but the most important thing that you are giving them is the idea that, look, I'm here for you, I accept you, I love you, you're going to get through this. Okay, so this is the kind of attitude that we often neglect to give to ourselves. The things that we would do for others, or the way we would respond to others, we fail to do that for ourselves because somehow we put ourselves in a separate category. But when you really think about it, your best friend and you have, or your family member or other loved one and you have something in common, which is basically you're both fundamentally human beings. You both have strengths and weaknesses. You both have good times and bad times. And in fact, of course, this applies to most of humanity. And the difference being that you've had a chance to get to know your friend or family member, and you haven't really gotten to know somebody on the other side of the planet or, in another city. But potentially you might, if you had a chance to get to know them, you might feel the same way about them, that, gee, well, when all is said and done, this person's just another human being struggling with their life. I don't know what their challenges are. I don't know what their childhood is like. I don't know what their genetics is like, but they're trying, and They have a mixture of positive aspects and negative aspects, but I'm rooting for the positive. I'm rooting for this person to be happy. I'm rooting for this person to feel accepted and cared for. I'm rooting for this person to be able to touch into a deep source of peace and well-being, right? So we could wish well-being for most people. There may be some people who you put in a different category. You know, you feel like they're really, bad people. Okay, well, let's leave that aside for now. Let's just focus, because you're not on that category, and neither are your friends or loved ones, nor most people. So let's not focus on that other tiny minority that you may feel this doesn't apply to. So then how would you apply self-nurturing or self-love to yourself? So I suggest putting your hand on your heart, okay? Taking your hand and putting it on your heart. You could even put two hands on your heart if you like. Now, just feel the touch of your hand. Just feel the warmth of your hand. Just feel the presence of your hand. Now, we instinctively understand the language of touch from an early age. What soothes a crying baby? The sound of the parent's voice, the mother's voice, the caretaker's voice, and the feeling of being held and maybe rocked. What soothes our domestic animals or pets? Being touched, being petted. They like to lay next to us. Or if you have more than one pet, well, this may not be true for cats, but dogs at least often like to lie next to each other. So we have this language of touch, and we sort of understand the difference between an impersonal touch and an angry touch and a loving touch and a deeply loving touch. And somehow or other we know how to send that message through our hands. And if we have the intention of sending a deeply loving and supportive feeling through our hands, we somehow know how to do that. So send that deeply loving and affirming and caring and supportive, like I'm here for you, feeling through your hand, through the palm of your hand, through that contact point between your hand and your chest, and into your heart, into the center of your chest, into your lungs. So when we say the heart, there is the physical organ of the heart, and then there's the heart metaphorically, or also as we experience it in terms of sensation. Like when we feel like we have a loving heart, we are experiencing love or joy or a sense of beauty or appreciation or gratitude, that creates a sensation in our chest. And so we could speak about the heart also in terms of just those kind of sensations. So send that nurturing, caring feeling into your heart, into your chest, into your lungs, and imagine that the heart area is receiving that intention, receiving that feeling, receiving those sensations, receiving that energy, receiving that intention, whatever language you want to use. And taking that in, and imagine metaphorically that it's as though that whole area smiles, as though somehow like the little cells in the body could smile, the tissues could smile, the organs could smile. This whole area kind of gets in the attitude of a feeling happy, feeling protected, feeling nurtured, feeling loved. So just take that into the heart area and let there be an exchange of feeling between the hands and the heart, or the hand and the heart. So there's like a kind of, it's like when you're melting into a hug. So in this case, the hand and the heart, they're melting into a hug. And then there's like a communion or an exchange or a relationship, a silent conversation between the hand and the heart. And if we could put it into words, it would be something like, I love you unconditionally. I see your struggle. I see your pain. I see your potential. I am here for you. I'll never abandon you. I'll never give up on you. I understand you. I love you. Now you can put words to it. Those words are your own words. Or you can just have that feeling that those words may inspire. You know, on a cloudy, dreary day when the sun comes up and peeks out from between the clouds, it's a warm feeling. So this is like the sun pouring into your heart. So it's like the part of you that is the internal parent, the universal archetypal loving parent, or the universal wise caring presence, the admirable loving adult presence inside of you that in a way transcends your individual personality or identity or quirks. It's kind of like just this capacity to care and to understand and to be there, that this potential resides in you. And so it's this nurturing, positive, loving, aware, intelligent capacity or attitude that embraces the parts of you that feel sad, confused, worried, anxious, upset, scared, afraid, angry, frustrated, tired, or whatever. So let yourself relax into that embrace. Let yourself melt into that embrace. Let yourself take that in like a dry sponge taking in water. It doesn't have to struggle to take it in. It just naturally takes it in. Or like a flower that has been watered and begins to blossom. I'm using a variety of metaphors here, and some of them may resonate with you and some may not. So you pick the metaphors that resonate with you. The important thing is not the words or the concepts. The important thing is the feeling and the attitude. So just get in touch with that feeling or attitude. Now, if you find this hard still, then think about someone that you care about and generate a loving feeling towards them, and generate, a wish that they might reach their full potential. Generate a wish that they might be truly happy. Generate a wish that they might find fulfillment. Generate a wish that they could be at peace and have real peace, lasting peace. And imagine that somehow or other that wish actually helps them to accomplish that. Or could somehow help them to accomplish that. Just imagine that. And now take that attitude that you just were projecting or sending or surrounding that person with, and bring that very same attitude towards yourself, thinking that just like my loved one, or just like my friend, or just like my family member, I too am a person who's trying to figure things out, stumbling around here, Sometimes I have my act together, or I think I do, and sometimes I think that I don't. But I wish myself happiness, I wish myself love, I wish myself fulfillment, I wish myself peace. And why? It's not just a selfish thing. Because when you are happy, you tend to be more patient. When you're really happy, you tend to be more patient, you tend to be more considerate, you tend to be more loving, you tend to be more compassionate, you tend to be able to give more to others as well as to yourself, you tend to be more fun to be around, and you tend to inspire a feeling of well-being in others. So actually, giving yourself nurturance is not something you just do for yourself. It's something you do for everyone around you and everyone you come in contact with. Because the more you can get in touch with this deep feeling of well-being and this deep positive affirmation for yourself, the more you will naturally extend that and project that out to the world in general. So we shouldn't make a separation between ourselves and other people in the sense that I had described earlier. You can actually extend deep affirmative love to yourself and everyone else. Now, that doesn't mean not being aware of flaws or shortcomings. It doesn't mean not being aware of things that you'd like to change. But the foundation is this deep affirmation. So you can build any kind of house you want. You can repaint it, you can remodel it, you can change this or that in it, but it needs to be built on a solid foundation. So before you try and improve yourself and do your self-critique and set your goals, start with this firm foundation of self-affirmation. So I hope this was helpful to you. Anytime that you want to, you can just put your hand on your heart and do this kind of meditation, whatever you want to call it. You can do it for a few seconds, you can do it for a few minutes, you can do it several times a day. However you want, however you like, however you want to adapt it. You can do it outside in nature, you can do it with music, you can do it in the bathtub. You pick whatever works for you, you experiment. So if you like this video, if you think it might be useful to other people, if you think other people should see this, please share the video, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel. And if you subscribe to this channel, there's a little subscribe button. If you subscribe to it, as I post additional videos in the future, they're likely to pop up in your feed. And if you want to be guaranteed that you see any future videos, if you're on a cell phone, there's a little bell next to the subscribe button. If you hit that bell, that means you'll be notified whenever a new video is posted, which won't be that often. I may post several in the next few weeks, but I'm not going to be doing it constantly. So, but they will show up in your feed if you have subscribed and press the bell. So anyhow, please share this video so we can make it more accessible, more likely to appear in searches that people do. And thank you for watching. And I hope your day goes really well.